All right, so here we go. So Dr. Pascal, I always love hearing your background and just anything about you. So in the time I've known you, I don't think you've shared with me how you got involved in like whole body, whole health healing. Do you recall an early experience that was sort of the start of your journey?
Yes, thank you, Melinda, and thank you for your comments. I appreciate that.
Sure.
So, my first experience with, I will call it taking care of my health or noticing that what I could do for my health came when I was 10 years old. I was visiting with my mother, an aunt that had a cat, and I had my first asthma attack. But it was very, very severe. I thought I was gonna die. I was very scared. I felt like I was choking and out of breath. And that literally was a turning point in my life. I realized, you know, like this can't happen again. It was really, really terrifying at that age. And from that moment on, I decided that whatever I could do to protect my lungs, my health, I was going to try to do it. I had no idea how, but you know, that impressed me pretty deeply.
Wow. At what point did you realize, so you'd had this asthma attack, what point did you realize you could be proactive in making a difference, right?
Right. It's weird because I knew at that moment, right not then, that I could be careful at least. I didn't know the extent of what I could do, but I knew that it was something external that I could affect.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it then. And
Yeah. And then, so what took you from that step to connecting to the greater interest in the whole body?
so, I didn't know all along, the extent to what I could affect myself or, other people.
Okay.
But I noticed through the years that I was a little bit more careful about what I ate. I was a little bit more careful about my decisions. For example, there was a lot of people around me where I used to live. It was natural for them to smoke and kind of unnatural for me to not smoke. I was not the cool, sad to say, kid because they were very young. But it was very, very clear, despite all these pressures, that I couldn't because it would affect, my health, even at young teenage age.
It sounds like this inclination towards health is like a core part of you from your earliest times.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And then when I went to dental school, I became acquainted with, I would say, my first mentor, who was a holistic dentist. And at that time, it was very rudimentary, but they would not use toxic fillings, which we called mercury fillings. The layperson would call them silver fillings.
Sure.
But instantly, that made total sense to me. Like, why would we do that? That the material is so toxic. Why would I put that in my body? And I had some. And so I worked an entire summer with them just to pay for me to get them out of my mouth.
Wow.
And that was before I actually started dental school, but I was about to start dental school. And of course I started learning some things about that. Then when I continued my journey, I started learning about, after dental school, I learned a little bit more about health in general, because in dental school we have to learn about the whole body.
Yeah.
And so when I started learning these things, it kind of became an extension to me of what do I need to do health-wise, to be even healthier. So that became my journey. I would say more like a passion, borderline addiction, to really learn everything I can to improve my health. And so those were things, oh my goodness, I mean, it's just so vast because there's every part of the body, every modalities of like healing that I could get my hands on. And then, you know, when I started my naturopathic degree, medical degree, you know, it kind of all came together of all these modalities that, you know, through the mouth, we can very uniquely look at things and how they connect to the body, but really help people become healthier.
That's so exciting. I love how, and as I know you as an individual, when I see you here at the office, you're very, I can see the connection between your drive to learn more about yourself, but you also desire to share that. Is sharing that health knowledge that you know about, is that something that have you always shared? Have you always tried to make those connections?
No,
or
I haven't. I mean, of course, I share with patients, you know. It's just a natural thing to know that I know things that work, but not only that they can help heal patient, they can help them feel better, they can make their condition better, but to do it in a way that doesn't make it worse, you know, like pharmaceuticals, which are sometimes necessary, but there's a lot of secondary effects. But a lot of the things we do have very minimal, if not no secondary effects. You know, it's just guiding the body by removing things that are not good and by providing it what it needs to heal, you know, very naturally. When I know I can share that because I'm going to help someone, you know, I haven't always done it, but I love doing that.
I can tell. I can tell. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.